For the record, I've talked to everybody in the class individually about injuries and comfort level with being adjusted. Also, no one in the class is a beginner. They've all been taking yoga for at least a year. Okay, we're going to start on our mats in a comfortable seat. Your hands can be on your knees or up at your chest, spine long. We're going to start with a complete breath. And to do that, breathe in your nose, 1, 2, 3, and out, 1, 2, 3. Continue this with breathing in, fill your belly, your chest, and even your back. And when you exhale, squeeze everything out. And keep going with that pattern. This breath is your safeguard. Throughout this practice, we're doing a lot of twists. And if you can't do a full, complete breath, you've probably gone too far. So keep that in mind and continue to try to keep this breath going throughout the practice. On your next inhale, go ahead and raise your arms up above your head. And then we're going to turn to your left. Put your hand behind your back and twist from your belly button area. This is our first one. It's just a warm-up so that you don't need to go too far. Continue with that breath down to your belly. And on your next inhale, come back up with your arms above your head. And exhale to the other side. Your breath and your spine being long are your two priorities during your practice. Those are your keys. On your next inhale, go ahead and come back up. Arms up. And now you're going to rock forward into tabletop, placing your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Anytime you're putting weight on your hands, you want to ensure that the weight is evenly distributed between both hands and between all your fingers. Take your right hand up level to the ground, reach it out, and then shoot it under your left arm, rotating your forehead down to the mat. If you're comfortable, you can extend that left arm. Try to keep those hips level. The twist should come from your core. And on your next inhale, go ahead and come back up to tabletop using the strength of your left hand. And we're going to do it on the other side. So go ahead and extend the other arm. And then on your exhale, curl back under, rotating your forehead down to the ground. Extend your arm if you have that in you today. So it's just to warm the spine up for all the twists that we're going to do. All right, on your next inhale, come back up to tabletop. Check your hand placement. And before we move on, see if you can rotate externally your arms. So we're rotating your arms to where your biceps are facing forward. Try not to lock them out. There you go. And now we're going to curl our toes, lift our hips back into a downward dog. With our first downward dog, remember it's fine to have your knees bent. The priority is a long spine. Anne-Marie, do you mind if I?
Oh, that's fine.
So go ahead and see if you can lengthen that down. There you go. Maybe walk your feet out a little bit. Warm those up. Excellent. And then go ahead and fly your right foot up in the air. And on your next exhale, we're going to bring it to our chest and place it right inside by our right thumb. Go ahead and place your back knee down on the ground. And on an inhale, come up into a low lunge. You can sink your hips down if that feels good. Stay there for a moment. I'm going to rotate so you can see me. And on an exhale, we're going to twist to your right, to your right. Focusing on twisting from your abs and keeping that chest open. And can you still maintain that full breath? Try to keep that front knee at a 90 without going past. If you have the space for it, you can reach your right hand back to your heel. I do not have that space, so I'm staying parallel. And then on your next exhale, reach those arms back up and down to frame your foot, back to downward dog. And now we're going to fly our left foot. Whee! Curl it to our chest and up by your left thumb. And drop your back foot. Uncurl your toes, and on an inhale, go ahead and come up. Arms extended. Sink back down into those hips. And on an exhale, rotate to the other side. Excellent. On each exhale, see if you can rotate just a little bit more from the waist. You can look back if it's comfortable, or you can keep looking forward. And if you have the mobility, you can again drop that back arm and reach the arm up, looking up to your hand if you can. This time, let's go ahead and windmill those arms all the way down to frame the foot and back into downward dog. We're going to fly that right foot back up. And this time, once again, place your right foot next to your right hand. We know our rights and our lefts. Excellent. We're going to need our balance a little better this time. So if you need to, you can widen your stance a little bit. If you're not feeling it today to do a high lunge, you can repeat what we just did with the knee down. But once you're comfortable on an inhale, go ahead and lift your arms up. Feel the strength in those legs. This is probably difficult. Bring that right hip back if it's jutting forward. And before we move, look down and see if you can see your big toe. If you can't, maybe shift around and try to get to a 90 degrees. Excellent. And on your next exhale, let's go ahead and twist to that bent knee again, just like before. This is where our drishti gets to be a little more important. And if you have the mobility, you can lower that right hand again and raise your left hand and look up. And then on your exhale, let's go ahead and windmill those arms all the way down and back into downward dog. Let's just stay here for a moment and walk those heels out. Again, focus on the external rotation of your arms. Is your head nice and aligned, your ears aligned with your biceps? My knees have to be very bent in this position to focus on the spine. And now we're going to fly on the next inhale, fly that left foot up again and step all the way through in between your hands. And once you get your stability adjusted, if you're comfortable, go ahead and on an inhale, come up. And then we're going to rotate again to your left. With each exhale, see if you can twist a little farther. If you have it in you, you can go ahead and drop that back arm. And now we're going to windmill it all the way back down to the ground again. But this time, instead of downward dog, go ahead and bring your back foot forward and stay in a forward fold, hip distance apart, which if you've never thought about that, think 2 fists between your feet. And this pose is really actually for your back. I always thought it was hamstrings. So for me, I have to keep my knees really bent and focus on letting that back loosen up. You can hold opposite arms like you already are. Excellent. And then on your next inhale, we're going to come halfway up, keeping a flat back. Pull those shoulders back. And then exhale, come all the way back down. Inhale, come all the way back up. We're going to take a few breaths right here. So on an exhale, hands down. Yay. Inhale up. And exhale, come hands down. We'll go one more big breath. Inhale up. This time we're going to come all the way down and drop to our knees in tabletop. Then we're going to sit back on our bottoms and make, not yet, feet go out in front of us. Extend those arms out. Take a big breath in, and on an exhale, as slowly as you can, come all the way down. Your head being the last thing. And then your arms to your side. We're going to move into a bridge pose to kind of break up the twists. So move your feet closer to your rear end. If you need the support, you can curl your shoulder blades under. And on your next inhale, you're going to lift those hips. Activating your legs, not clenching. Nobody needs a cramp. If you have the mobility, you can bring your arms underneath you and clasp your hand together. Kind of rocking back and forth to get those shoulders. And even though we're pulling our glutes up, you also want to keep your core activated, pulling that belly button back to your spine. Nice deep breaths. And on your next exhale, you can slowly lower down. Let's do one more. On an inhale, go ahead and raise your hips back up. Keeping that core activated. And on an exhale, come all the way back down. Let's go ahead and give our back some love by bringing in our knees. Give yourself a little hug. Everybody needs a hug. And then release your arms down to the side. And we're going to let your knees fall to the right if you have that mobility. Does anybody need a block to go under their knees? Try to keep your left shoulder down on the mat. Here, why don't you try a block under your knee? Just right under your right knee. There you go. You still get the stretch, but maybe not the... I'm going to give you one too, Anne-Marie. Try that out. Excellent. And on your next exhale, go ahead and curl with your core. Curl your legs back up. If you're using a block, you can move it to the other side. Maybe give yourself one more hug. Everybody needs hugs, says the person who doesn't like hugs. And on an exhale, you can rock to the other side. You'll probably find that one side is a bit tighter than the other. And that happens. All right, on your next exhale, come on. Pull your knees back up. One more fun hug. Yay. And then release your legs all the way down. If you have any final movements you'd like to do, whether it's some windshield wipers or hip adjustments, go ahead and do those and we'll get comfortable for Shavasana. and extend your legs. If you need the support under your chest, you can curl your shoulder blades under. You can have your arms out wide, whatever feels comfortable to you. Let your feet fall open and just sink into the ground and let it hold you. And I'm going to stay quiet for about 2 minutes. And just feel yourself breathe naturally and sink into the ground. Start to get some movement in your hands and your feet. Start to wake the body up. And once you're ready, you can roll to the right side. And pause there a moment. And when you're comfortable, you can come all the way back up to a seated position. Find your comfortable seat, your spine long. Keep your eyes closed, or you can have them open softly. Bring your hands to prayer. Thank you all so much for practicing with me and making this so much easier. God bless.